The NFL fully understands home field advantage, and its preferred venue for resolving disputes is arbitration. Well, this week, the Nevada Supreme Court ruled against the NFL and refused to compel arbitration of Jon Gruden's claims against the NFL and Roger Goodell. So let's talk about it. Jon Gruden had been a coach in the NFL since 1990. He was a coach with the 49ers, with the Buccaneers, and the Raiders. Then he left and became a commentator on ESPN's Monday Night Football, and then he left that and he actually went back to the Raiders and was rehired in 2018 and signed a 10-year contract. Well, in 2020, the Washington Commanders, or Washington football team, started an internal investigation regarding some sexual harassment claims. During this investigation, the NFL actually comes in and takes over the investigation and discovers a trove of emails between the general manager of the Washington Commanders and Jon Gruden. And these emails contain racist, sexist, homophobic remarks from Jon Gruden. Now, these emails are ultimately leaked to the media, and then the media leaks them to us. After those emails get leaked, Jon Gruden is forced to resign from the Raiders, and then he brings this lawsuit against the NFL and Roger Goodell, claiming tortious interference with a contract, negligence, and civil conspiracy. As soon as he files that lawsuit, the NFL and Roger Goodell immediately move to compel arbitration. In moving to compel, the NFL and Goodell rely on two arbitration provisions. The first arbitration provision is found in the NFL Constitution, and the second arbitration clause that they try to enforce is found in Gruden's contract with the Raiders. And the Nevada Supreme Court finds that neither of those arbitration clauses is applicable here. So the NFL Constitution purports to make Goodell the arbitrator in any dispute involving a member or members in the league, or any players or employees of the members of the league, or any combination thereof that, in the opinion of the commissioner, constitutes conduct detrimental to the best interest of the league or professional football. Now, you might say, well, why does the court not enforce that arbitration clause? Well, the court comes out saying that because Gruden was a former employee at the time he filed the lawsuit, that provision does not apply to Gruden. But the Nevada Supreme Court doesn't stop there. They go one step further and they say this provision is actually unconscionable because Gruden had no ability to negotiate this arbitration clause. You see, the only agreement that Gruden could negotiate was his 7-page employment agreement. But this NFL Constitution is actually 447 pages, and Gruden couldn't negotiate any of that. And for that reason, this arbitration clause is unconscionable and unenforceable. What about the contract between Gruden and the Raiders that contains an arbitration clause? Does that work? No, that doesn't work because Raiders are not a party to this litigation. This is a lawsuit between Gruden and the NFL and Goodell, and neither of them is a party to the contract between Gruden and the Raiders. So we have non-parties trying to enforce an arbitration clause against a party to the contract. Now, there are certain times where that works, and the court explains when that could work. Something where non-signatories can compel arbitration against signatories. I think that's beyond the scope of TikTok. But here, the court says, listen, this is a dispute about interference with the contract. It doesn't have anything to do with the contract. And for that reason, these non-signatories are not going to be able to compel arbitration based on that clause in the contract between Gruden and the Raiders. Now, interestingly, there is actually a dissenting opinion in this, and it comes out exactly the opposite from what I just described. And the NFL has already indicated that it's going to appeal this decision. It's going to ask for a review of the play. And we will see what happens next. I suspect that the case will settle, but we will see.